I went to university and met a bunch of people when I was studying theatre, which I kind of did by accident, really. And we decided to make a theatre company. And so we wanted to make our own work. We wanted to make that out of our own experience and create that together. So obviously someone needed to be responsible for the text, and I was literally the last person to refuse to do it. It was that simple. It wasn't that I stepped forward, it was that I didn't step back quick enough and everyone else went quicker than me. So that was it. And so I started, which is really, I think, important for the way I write, even though that was a long time ago now, because it meant that I was immediately writing text to be performed rather than thinking, I've got to sit down now and write a play. So that's where I came from. It makes me think of a few years ago I was asked to go and do a talk in the middle of nowhere in Sweden, and I borrowed a laptop because they said if you could illustrate your talk that would be great, and I got there and none of the cables from the laptop talked to the projector, so I had to stand up and give a talk in front of this massive projection screen to a load of people, and I ended up saying at various points, this is so, at this point in the talk I would show you, this is the picture I would show you, and I would describe the picture and point to where the things in it would be on the screen. And I guess that's what that made me think of, and I guess the reason I'm thinking of that is it's not about saying that words are incredibly powerful and they paint these pictures. It's if something feels impossible as a writer, there's always a way around it. If you want to create anything, no matter how impossible or difficult, it is possible to do that when your work is in a room with other people who have come there and you are all sharing an experience. So just, create your own stage. The stage could vary in its level of where it's located, its reality, its actual physical existence, but there's always a way to do it. It's difficult because in terms of practical advice, it's a very different world to when I was at that stage. I still work with a lot of younger artists now that are far younger than me, and I think it's a more difficult world, kind of, certainly economically and practically, to start out in, though not impossible. That's the main thing I would say. This might feel impossible. It felt impossible to me. It's not impossible. In terms of your own personal writing, I think you have to follow your impulse rather than try and write like your heroes, if you like, if you have any. Weirdly, I think it's about accepting that that's something that develops. So if you have a feeling that this is what you need to do, this particular kind of writing, that you should follow that feeling and you should follow your instinct with that, but you should also simultaneously accept that you aren't going to be good at that straight away. It's going to take you a long time. If you write something you're dissatisfied with it, but you feel that you were going in the right direction, then you need to be able to separate what you've written and how much you've put into it from taking a realistic view of its the places where it isn't working when you get it on its feet. And you need to be ruthless in saying, okay, I'll take that out, I don't think I did very well there, I'll take that out, and do that for yourself rather than being discouraged when other people do it for you. So it's about developing a realistic view of who you are right now and accepting that you aren't going to be brilliant straight away if you're trying to do something which is difficult. I like to see stuff that I couldn't do. I really do like that, and I tend to see that everywhere from massive productions to particularly kind of student productions that I see. I like to see stuff or hear stuff and think, I have no idea how you did that. And that's just as likely to happen in something that's written by someone who's 19 as a writer who's been writing for 40, 50 years. There isn't a place that I go to write that inspires me, but I think it's more about keeping an open mind for me rather than any specific place. There's a frame of mind that inspires me, and that's often the frame of mind that you can have just as much walking down a street in a city that you know incredibly well as you could standing on some cliffs above the Pacific Ocean watching the sunrise. And it's about just having that little heightened awareness of what you're seeing, and when I can get into that frame of mind, and when the world, even though it might look ordinary, every little ordinary moment of it contains a little story or two things put together in a way I maybe haven't seen before. It's a difficult frame of mind to get into, but that's the frame of mind where you start thinking, oh, what if I could write about this? It's when the question pops into your head.